amongst friends. Welcome to the video. Thank you for clicking on the link. You guys know I always appreciate you watching these videos. So I've actually got some fun Espada and Daga stuff to show you guys today. Actually, this is going to end up being a video series. I'm going to make 4 videos out of what I'm going to film right now. I wanted to kind of work on some Espada and Daga today. It's a nice Sunday afternoon, and decided to come down here to the school, nobody else here, and just kind of work on some stuff. Drew some lines out, and wanted to work on some forms that I've learned from Kali Center, like some actual forms that they teach, that Paul teaches on the Kali Center training. I think these might even be on the stuff on Swoltech. I don't know, I can't remember. Anyway, two of the line play drills are going to be based off of these forms. And my mindset was I wanted to take these basic forms that you learn to help you with learning slashes and thrusts and doing things with the putting these weapons together. Take these forms that are meant to teach you to use these weapons, in concert with each other, and figure out what's some tactical, a little bit more tactical kind of stuff that I could do with this, with like the footwork, and kind of playing around with that with 2 of these drills. And then the other 2 drills are going to be, they are stuff that I've been working on with John these last few months. I wanted to kind of really drill down on some of these principles and tactics that he's been teaching me up there when I've been going up and training with him. For those of you that don't know I say it in my videos all the time, but for those of you that have never been here and you've never heard me say it, John is Kali Center's Seattle chapter leader, very, very good martial artist. He also trains with Cecil. I can't remember Cecil's last name. He's like a fencing master, ridiculously good. John, is crazy good. Anyway, he's showing me some stuff that he's learning from Cecil, and it's a little bit more like Spanish and Italian in flavor, so to speak. It's a lot more, thrusts and doing things like that. Very, very effective, but it just is a little bit different than your standard Kali type of stuff. And so anyway, it's a lot of things, and so I wanted to break this up into multiple videos. I'm going to stop flapping my lips at you guys, and let's get into it. Let's start with the hands first, because when I show you what I got drawn here, it's a little bit crazy. Anyway, let's work on hands first. Okay, so let's start with the hands with the weapons for line play drill number 1. So what I'm doing with this is, this is actually a form that you can learn on Kali Center's online training. What this is you're going to do, so you're starting off with the Espada in its number 1 chamber. The Daga is in its number 1 position. Remember, the Daga is 1, 2 down at the hip. 3rd position is up at the head, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to swing our angle 1, but as we do, we're going to lift up the Daga and do a pass-through thrust. It thrusts as the Espada reaches the number 4 chamber. Lift the Daga up as you're passing this through, right as you're thrusting. Lift the Espada up as you're thrusting the Daga. You're going to slash the angle 2. This comes down to the number 3 chamber, but as it does, you do a jab with the Daga. Then you're going to do an angle 3, bringing the Daga to the number 4, to its number 2 position. The Espada should be on top of it. Then you're going to do a double slash. So we're going to double strike. We're going to slash a number 4 with the Espada, and we're going to do a thrust at the same time. Okay? Then we're rolling this, and notice it does the jab at the same time the Espada reaches chamber. So you do the 4 with a thrust, jab. See the timing there? It's thrust, jab. Jab lands when the Espada hits chamber. So again, we've got 1 pass-through thrust, 2 jab, 3 double strike with the 4, jab when the Espada reaches chamber. 1 pass-through, 2 jab, 3 double strike with the 4, jab when the Espada reaches 1. So as you notice, this is just 1 through 4 with the Espada. The point of this is getting that independent ability with the Espada, starting to get to where the Espada is doing something completely different. I mean, the Daga is doing something completely different than what the Espada is doing, okay? That's what we're doing with the hands. So let me show you the feet and the map that we're going to be working with today.
Yeah, so I color coordinated it, hoping it would make it less confusing. And yeah, well, I definitely didn't. So each of these, this is all 4 of the lines that we're going to be doing drawn out. What I like to do is draw out lines coming off of each of the apex of each apex of the diamond, right? So there's 4 different drills that I'm doing with this one diamond, and it makes for really, really good training. That's kind of the point of me doing this, is showing you guys this massive drill that I put together. It took me about an hour and a half to put all this together. I've been working out here for about 2 hours on this stuff, and so it doesn't take long to put all this together, to learn all this stuff, but it makes a really good workout once you kind of put everything together. Let's start off with the footwork like this. Okay, so the green lines is what we're going to be using for the first line plate drill. So I'm here, this is my diamond, circle goes around the diamond, right? So that is 0 degrees right now. Universal evasion is right here. So I'm going to start out, I'm going to put my feet together. I'm pumping here. This is just pumping and coming out on universal evasion. I'm going to pump with the front foot and come straight back up. What I'm doing here is I'm breaking time and I'm coming straight back into my opponent, which means that my opponent would be right here, making this the new 0 degrees right now, because my 0 and my opponent's 0 would be overlapping, which means this is now left 45. So I am going to bridge left 45. That makes this forward triangle. I'm going to step right foot up forward triangle. Then I'm going to be a little sneaky and do a pass-through thrust with my pass-through step, with that left foot and come back. Okay, one more time here, just looking at my feet with this. So coming out on universal evasion after doing a slight pump, pumping, coming straight back. This is actually just a little bit of a hover step as you step out on left 45, step up forward triangle, pass through step up 0 degrees, and just come back. Let me have you guys take a look at me.
All right, now just real quick with the footwork, with you guys watching me. So I'm just gonna do a quick pump, come out on universal, pumping, coming straight back at my opponent. My left foot would just be hovering here and stepping out left 45. Right foot comes up, forward triangle. Left foot does a pass through, and then I step back. One more time. Universal, straight back at my opponent. Quarter, forward triangle, pass through. Boom. Let's put it together. All right, so calibrating this. Starting off in our starting position, I'm bladed here. I'm going to go out on universal evasion. I'm just pumping really fast so that I can exit quickly on universal evasion, throw this one, and this one lands when my front foot pumps, right? It's pumping as it lands. Now, this is going to be kind of a rapid fire type of a thing. What I'm doing is I'm thinking about breaking time, boom, and just doing rapid fire strikes as I come back at my opponent. So I'm pumping, going out on universal with this one. Then as I'm coming back, I'm throwing pass through and the angle 2 lands as my right foot hits the ground. When I do this little hover step, when my feet come together, is when the Espada comes to chamber and I strike my first jab with the Daga. Stepping left, 45, as I swing my 3, the Daga should be in the number 2 position. Comes to chamber when my feet come together, and then I'm coming up forward triangle with a double strike here, hitting with the Espada and the Daga at the same time. When my feet come together is when the Daga comes back to my body, and then I hit chamber and hit that last thrust or jab, whichever one. I like a thrust here. Hitting the thrust at the same time my Espada hits chamber and my foot hits the ground, and coming back to bladed position to finish it. Again, starting bladed, do a pump, universal with a 1, pass through, 2 lands when my right foot lands, coming back at my opponent, jab lands as I'm doing this little hover step, kind of pump deal with the back foot as the Espada comes to the number 3 chamber. I strike as my foot lands up left 45. Is the same time the Espada makes contact with my opponent and the Daga reaches chamber. Espada reaches chamber when my feet come together, come up forward triangle, boom. They both land at the same time. Daga comes to the number 1, its number 1 position as I'm doing my pass through, and the thrust, foot lands, and Espada makes it to chamber all at the same time and come back. A little bit more quickly this time. 1, pass through, 2, jab, 3, double strike, pass through, step with a thrust. Boom. Again. 1, pass through, 2, jab, 3, double strike, and a thrust, backhand thrust. Let me just demonstrate this a couple of times. Maybe put the camera in a few different spots for you guys, and I'll let you go. What I got for you in this video. That is the first of these lines. Be sure to join me in the next video when I go through the next line. And then in the last one, I'm thinking I'm going to show you how to put all of them together, all that good stuff. I appreciate you guys watching this all the way to the end. If you happen to be in Long Beach and you want to learn, Long Beach, Washington, and you want to learn some Kali, I do teach free community Kali classes. at the Grange on Tuesdays or here on Saturdays. Love to have you out. In the meantime, keep on training. Hope you guys can use this stuff. God bless. Deuces.